You planted peppers full of excitement, dreaming of baskets overflowing with colourful harvests. Instead, you got maybe a handful of sad, undersized peppers, while your neighbour somehow pulls dozens from each plant. What's the difference between struggling pepper plants and those that produce abundant harvests all season long? The answer lies in 6 critical secrets that most gardeners never discover. These aren't complex techniques requiring special equipment or years of experience. They're simple strategies that can triple your pepper production starting this season, and I'm about to share every single one with them. Here's something that will shock most gardeners about pepper placement. The difference between a struggling pepper plant and one that produces all season often comes down to just a few inches of spacing and the right location. Most people plant peppers wherever they have space, but peppers have very specific needs that, when met, transform their productivity. Full sun means exactly that. Peppers need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily, but here's where most gardeners mess up. They think partial shade will work fine, especially in hot climates. Wrong. Even peppers in scorching heat need maximum sun exposure to develop the energy reserves for continuous fruit production. Less light equals fewer peppers, period. Plant spacing creates the foundation for everything else you'll do right. Set your pepper plants 18 to 24 inches apart, no closer. This isn't just about giving them room to grow. Proper spacing allows air circulation that prevents disease, ensures each plant gets adequate light penetration to lower branches, and creates the microclimate that peppers crave. The soil preparation step that multiplies harvests involves mixing large amounts of organic matter into your planting area. Compost, aged manure, or decomposed leaves should make up at least 1/3 of your soil volume. This organic matter does 3 critical things. It retains moisture during dry spells, provides slow-release nutrients throughout the growing season, and creates the loose, well-draining structure that pepper roots need to spread and establish strongly. Choose locations where you haven't grown tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, or peppers in the past 3 years. These plants share diseases that build up in soil over time. Rotating locations breaks disease cycles and gives your peppers the clean start they need. Temperature matters more than most realize. Wait until nighttime temperatures consistently stay above 50 degrees before transplanting. Cold soil shocks pepper roots and sets back production by weeks. Warm soil accelerated establishment and gets plants producing sooner. Most pepper growing failures trace back to watering mistakes, but not the ones you'd expect. The biggest myth about pepper watering is that consistent daily watering produces the best results. This approach actually destroys harvests and weakens plants in ways that become obvious only after it's too late to fix. Peppers need what I call the soak and dry cycle. Deep watering, followed by allowing the soil to almost completely dry out between sessions, creates the stress response that triggers heavy fruit production. When you water daily with small amounts, roots stay shallow and weak. Plants become dependent on constant moisture and never develop the robust root systems that support heavy harvests. Water deeply once or twice per week instead of daily sprinkling. This means soaking the soil thoroughly until water runs from drainage holes or penetrates at least 6 inches deep in garden beds. Then wait until the top inch of soil feels dry before watering again. This technique forces roots to grow deeper, searching for moisture, creating stronger plants that handle heat stress and produce more consistently. The drooping leaf trap catches most gardeners off guard. When pepper leaves droop, your first instinct says the plant needs water. Sometimes that's true, but drooping leaves also indicate overwatering or normal heat response during hot afternoons. Check soil moisture before reaching for the hose. Push your finger 2 inches into the soil near the plant base. Dry soil means water time. Moist soil means wait, even if leaves look stressed. Inconsistent watering causes blossom end rot, that black sunken spot that ruins pepper bottoms. This happens when plants can't uptake calcium due to irregular moisture levels. Consistent deep watering prevents this completely. Mulch around plants helps maintain even soil moisture between watering sessions. Use organic materials like straw, shredded leaves, or grass clippings applied 3 inches thick. Mulch reduces evaporation, moderates soil temperature, and eliminates the guesswork from watering schedules by keeping soil moisture more stable. The timing of when you feed your pepper plants determines whether you get a few peppers or baskets full of them. Most gardeners either overfeed with nitrogen or underfeed when plants need nutrients most. Understanding the pepper plant's nutritional needs throughout its life cycle changes everything about your harvest size. Nitrogen timing makes or breaks pepper production. Early in the season, peppers need nitrogen to build strong stems and healthy leaf canopies. But here's the critical mistake. Continuing high nitrogen feeding, once flowers appear, actually reduces fruit set. Excess nitrogen keeps plants in vegetative growth mode instead of switching to fruit production mode. Start with balanced fertilizer at transplanting, then switch to low nitrogen, high potassium feeds once flower buds form. Potassium drives flower development and fruit formation. A tomato fertilizer works perfectly because it's formulated for exactly this type of nutritional transition that peppers need. Monthly feeding schedules produce consistently better results than weekly applications. Apply granular organic fertilizer around the plant base once per month, scratching it lightly into the soil surface, then watering thoroughly. This provides steady nutrition without the feast or famine cycle that stresses plants and reduces production. The phosphorus boost that multiplies yields happens at transplanting. Add 1 teaspoon of high phosphorus fertilizer directly into each planting hole. Phosphorus promotes strong root development and early flower formation. Strong roots support heavy fruit loads later in the season. Calcium deficiency shows up as blossom end rot, but it's usually not a soil calcium problem. It's a water uptake problem caused by inconsistent watering that prevents plants from accessing available calcium. Consistent moisture levels solve this better than calcium supplements. Compost tea applications every 2 weeks provide micronutrients that commercial fertilizers often lack. Steep finished compost in water for 24 hours, strain, and apply to soil around plants. These trace elements improve overall plant health and disease resistance, while supporting sustained fruit production throughout the growing season. Drop a comment and tell me which of these secrets you're most excited to try in your pepper garden this season. Wind damage destroys more pepper harvests than most gardeners realize. One strong gust can snap the main stem of a heavily loaded plant, ending your season instantly. But the support systems that prevent this disaster also create the perfect growing environment that naturally increases yields. Staking early prevents problems before they start. Install bamboo stakes or tomato cages when plants reach 8 inches tall, well before they need support, waiting until plants are heavy with fruit risks damaging roots and stems during installation. Use loose ties that allow for stem growth but prevent wind damage. Dense planting creates natural wind breaks and shade protection. When peppers are spaced properly but planted in groups, they protect each other from harsh afternoon sun and strong winds. This companion effect reduces stress and keeps plants producing consistently through hot weather. Sun-scald ruins more peppers than pests or diseases combined. Those papery bleach spots on fruits happen when intense sunlight hits developing peppers without adequate leaf cover. Plants with insufficient foliage can't protect their own fruits, leading to harvest losses that seem mysterious until you understand the cause. Shade cloth provides the solution when natural leaf cover isn't enough. 50% shade cloth draped over plants during the hottest part of summer days prevents sun-scald while maintaining enough light for continued growth and fruit development. Remove or lift the cloth during cooler morning and evening hours. Strategic companion planting with taller crops like sunflowers or corn creates natural shade protection. Plant these companions on the south and west sides of pepper beds to filter harsh afternoon sun while allowing morning light to reach pepper plants fully. This dappled shade effect mimics the natural growing conditions that peppers prefer. Proper plant support goes beyond preventing wind damage. Well-supported plants channel energy into fruit production instead of struggling to stay upright. Strong support systems allow plants to carry heavier fruit loads, extending harvest periods and increasing total seasonal yields significantly. Pepper pruning divides gardeners into 2 camps, those who swear by it and those who think it reduces yields. Both sides have valid points, but understanding when and how to prune makes the difference between helping or hurting your harvest potential. Topping peppers works only in specific situations. If you live in zones with long growing seasons and grow small fruited varieties like shishitos or cherry peppers, Pinching the growing tip when plants reach 8 inches tall creates bushier plants with more fruiting branches. But for short seasons or large fruited varieties like bells, topping delays fruit production too much to be worthwhile. The pruning that always helps involves removing lower leaves touching the soil. These leaves become disease entry points and waste plant energy. Snip them off cleanly with sharp scissors once plants are established. This simple step prevents soil-borne diseases from splashing onto foliage during watering or rain. Pinching growing points at 8 inches tall encourages branching, without the recovery time that full topping requires. This gentle pruning creates more flowering sites while keeping plants productive. Remove just the very tip of the main stem, leaving all side shoots intact. Flower pinching during the first few weeks after transplanting redirects energy into root and stem development. Remove early flower clusters until plants are well established and growing vigorously. This temporary sacrifice results in stronger plants that produce heavier yields throughout the season. Sucker removal keeps plants focused on main branches. Small shoots growing from leaf joints drain energy from primary stems. Pinch these off while they're small and soft. This pruning technique works especially well for larger pepper varieties that benefit from concentrated growth. The key to successful pepper pruning lies in timing and restraint. Light, strategic pruning helps plants. Heavy pruning sets them back. Most gardeners should focus on disease prevention pruning and skip the fancy techniques until they have experience with basic pepper growing success. The moment you pick your first pepper determines how many more you'll harvest for the rest of the season. Most gardeners wait too long or pick too early, missing the sweet spot that keeps plants producing continuously until frost kills them. Regular harvesting triggers increased flower production. When you leave mature peppers on plants, the plant thinks its job is done and slows down flower formation. Pick peppers as soon as they reach full size and desired color to keep plants in active production mode throughout the growing season. Green peppers are simply unripe versions of their colored counterparts. You can harvest some peppers green to free up plant energy for developing remaining fruits to full maturity. This strategy works especially well with bell peppers, where you can enjoy both green and colored harvests from the same plant. The color transition timing affects both flavor and nutrition. Peppers that ripen to red, yellow, or orange on the plant develop higher vitamin content and sweeter flavor than those picked green. But allowing every pepper to fully ripen reduces total harvest quantity. Balance immediate eating needs with long-term production goals. Sharp cutting tools prevent plant damage during harvest. Pull peppers by hand, and you risk breaking branches or damaging stems. Use clean scissors or pruning shears to cut pepper stems, leaving a small stub attached to the fruit. This clean cut heals quickly and doesn't stress plants. End-of-season harvesting maximizes your total yield. When frost threatens, harvest all peppers regardless of maturity. Large green peppers work well for cooking, while small immature ones should go to compost. Peppers that have just started changing color often continue ripening indoors if kept in a warm location for several days. Storage techniques extend your harvest enjoyment. Properly stored peppers last up to 2 weeks refrigerated. Excess harvests freeze well after blanching, or can be dried for long-term storage and use in cooking throughout winter months. These 6 secrets transform struggling pepper plants into productive powerhouses that keep delivering harvests all season long. Start with proper location and spacing, master the watering cycle, and watch your pepper garden become the envy of every neighbor. If you want even bigger harvests, check out this next video for our next gardening tips.